Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
When I moved to Greylock, a town tucked away in the shadow of Mount Greylock, I was looking for a fresh start. New job, new apartment, new everything. To keep myself busy and maybe meet some people, I started volunteering at the Greylock Historical Society. It was a quaint, dusty place, filled with relics of a bygone era, overseen by my older cousin, Angel Silva, who worked there full-time. She'd always warned me about Greylock's peculiarities, hinting at old superstitions and a local history best left undisturbed. I mostly just humored her. My primary task was reorganizing the old desk collections in the annex, a stuffy room full of furniture that hadn't been touched since, well, probably the Civil War. One Tuesday afternoon, while trying to pry open a stubbornly stuck drawer on a massive oak writing desk, my hand slipped and I felt something loose behind the back panel. Curiosity got the better of me. I pushed, and a small, almost invisible compartment swung open. Inside, nestled among brittle, yellowed newspapers from the late 1800s, were 3 identical leather-bound journals. No titles, no author, just plain, dark leather. They weren't cataloged, and Angel had never mentioned anything like them. I took one home that night. The pages were filled with elegant looping script, interspersed with strange, intricate symbols and disturbing, almost crude sketches. The writing was a series of dated entries referencing the Whispers and the Listener. They spoke of specific geographical coordinates within Greylock, and timings always at odd hours, usually just before dawn or after midnight. It read like a personal account, but the underlying dread was palpable. I spent hours trying to decipher the cryptic symbols, feeling an unsettling pull to the mysteries these books held. A few days later, I showed the first journal to Nash, a friendly, eccentric older volunteer who'd been at the Historical Society for decades. He was a wealth of local knowledge, and I thought he might shed some light on the references. He looked at the journal, his usual jovial expression fatting into a grave stare. He got very quiet, his fingers tracing the strange symbols. Then he asked if he could borrow it for a bit of personal research. I hesitated, remembering Angel's warnings, but his eagerness was infectious, and I wanted to impress him. I lent it to him, hoping for an insightful discussion. Angel found out almost immediately. She was furious, her face pale. "Samantha, what have you done? Those aren't for show. Those belong to the quiet watchers. They've been dormant for decades, but they don't forget. You brought attention to them." She grabbed my arm, her grip surprisingly strong. "You have to leave them alone. Don't show them to anyone else. Seriously, these aren't some historical oddity. They are taboo." Her intensity scared me, but I still had the other two, so I dismissed it as her usual dramatics. But then Nash vanished. He didn't show up for his volunteer shifts. His phone went straight to voicemail. The last time anyone saw him was leaving the Historical Society, carrying a satchel that could have easily held the journal. I felt a cold knot form in my stomach. A few days after that, I found a small, hand-carved wooden ear on my porch, just sitting on the doormat. It was an exact replica of a symbol I'd seen numerous times in the journals, almost always accompanying mentions of the Listener. My heart pounded. It wasn't a coincidence. Panicked, I contacted Ella Shin, an old college friend who specialized in archaic languages and computer coding. I explained everything, sending her scanned pages from the remaining 2 journals. We set up a series of late-night video calls. Ella was brilliant. She quickly confirmed that the symbols weren't just occult iconography. They were indeed a form of geographical coordinates for places in Greylock, combined with a strange, archaic programming language, almost like a rudimentary map-making code. "Sam, this is incredible," she whispered during one call, her eyes wide with a mixture of excitement and fear. "I think I've figured out how to overlay these points onto a current map. It's pointing to an old mill on the edge of town and a few other abandoned spots. In these timings, they're specific. They indicate when these locations are active." "Wait, I think I've got something else," her voice trailed off, replaced by a sudden jarring static. The video feed froze, then went black. I tried calling her back, but her phone was off. Her social media went dark. Ella was gone. I was alone. I confronted Angel, frantic, explaining about Nash and Ella and the wooden ear. She just stared at me, her expression a mix of pity and exasperation. "Samantha, you're letting these old ghost stories get to you. Nash probably just took a trip. Ella probably got spooked by the local legends and decided to drop the project. This town has a history of tall tales. You're imagining things." Her dismissiveness, the way she gaslit me, was almost as terrifying as the events themselves. Was I losing my mind? I couldn't shake the chilling coordinates Ella had almost shown me. Desperate for answers, armed with my phone's GPS and the remaining 2 journals, I drove to the old mill. It was a crumbling stone edifice, infamous for being haunted. As I stepped inside, the air grew heavy, smelling of damp earth and something else, something metallic and wrought. My flashlight beam cut through the gloom, revealing Ella's laptop smashed to pieces on a workbench. Next to it, another small, freshly carved wooden ear. My breath hitched. This was real. This wasn't a prank. Then I heard them. Whispers. Soft at first, then growing, coming from the shadowed corners from behind the rusted machinery. They weren't words I could understand, but they were definitely voices, a cacophony of hushed, sibilant sounds that scraped at my sanity. They seemed to coil around me, pressing in. I spun around, my heart hammering. In a darker alcove, a makeshift altar stood, adorned with more of those wooden ears and crude, disturbing figurines. As I stared, a cloaked figure emerged from the deepest shadows. It stood motionless, not speaking, but its head slowly tilted towards the journals clutched in my hand. I felt its eyes on me, felt a predatory awareness. I didn't wait, I bolted. I don't remember running, just the desperate need to escape the whispers, the chilling presence, and the unspoken demand in that figure's stillness. I slammed the door to my apartment shut, locking every bolt, piling furniture against it. But the whispers followed me. They're in my walls now, a faint, rustling sound that never truly ceases. I sit here, clutching the journals, the last 2 pieces of a puzzle I never wanted to solve. Angel won't talk to me. Nash and Ella are gone. And the listener is awake, and it knows I have its keys. I don't know what to do. The whispers are getting louder. I think it wants its books back, or maybe it wants me.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.